If you're a creative, it feels like every single conversation these days eventually comes down to one thing: AI. And yeah, there's a ton of excitement, but let's be real, there's also a lot of anxiety. Is this new technology just a powerful new paintbrush in our toolkit, or is it actually here to paint right over our careers? To figure that out, we've got to separate the hype from what's actually happening. So, to get to the bottom of all this, we're diving into an amazing source: the book AI for Creative Production by Ian Anderson. Now, this isn't just theory. He's a creative pro himself who has been in the trenches, spending countless hours actually using these tools, figuring out what works and what's just noise. Okay, so let's just get right to it and ask the big question, the one that's on everybody's mind, maybe even keeping you up at night. Is AI really coming for our creative jobs? It's a huge question, and thankfully, the book tackles it head on. But right from the get-go, in the foreword by Jeff Greenberg, you get a sense of the book's core message. It's not about being afraid of AI knocking on the door. It's about being handed the keys. It's all about empowerment, not replacement. And that brings us to our first big idea: really understanding the massive gap between all the hype you see online and the reality of using AI day to day. The book makes one thing crystal clear. If you believed all the headlines, you'd think human creativity was about to go extinct. But as Anderson points out, that kind of hype almost never matches up with what's happening in the real world. The idea that AI is going to replace every filmmaker and photographer in the next couple of years, it's not the reality on the ground. And this gets to the absolute central theme of the book. The most powerful way to think about AI isn't as a competitor, but as a tool for augmentation. It's here to enhance what we already do, to take care of the boring stuff, and to help us push our own creative ideas even further than we could before. Okay, so how are we supposed to make sense of all the different AI tools popping up everywhere? Well, the book gives us this brilliantly simple framework that just cuts through all the noise. And honestly, this is one of those aha moments. It all boils down to just three categories: utility AI, generative AI, and automation AI. Seriously, that's it. Once you learn to sort all these different tools into these three buckets, you can immediately see what they do and, more importantly, how you can actually use them. So let's break these down one by one. What do these three types of AI actually mean for a creative who's just trying to get work done? First up, we have utility AI. Think of this as your silent partner, the one working behind the scenes. This is all about recognition and organization. Like an app that can scan thousands of your photos and instantly tag every single one that has a boat or a dog in it. It's not creating anything new, it's just a super smart assistant that understands your content and helps you manage it, saving you from hours and hours of manual sorting. Next up is the superstar, generative AI. This is the one that gets all the headlines, right? These are the tools that can create brand new images or text or even music from just a simple prompt. It's incredibly powerful and it can be an amazing brainstorming partner. But it's so important to remember that it's just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. Now, what's really fascinating here is how this stuff gets created. A lot of image generators use something called a diffusion process. Just look at this. It literally starts with a canvas of pure random noise, kind of like old school TV static. Then, step by step, guided by what you typed, it starts to remove that noise, slowly refining it, shaping it, until a clear image just emerges from the chaos. It's this incredible process of creating order out of nothing. And finally, we've got automation AI, the workhorse. These are the tools that take over all the boring, repetitive tasks that we all hate doing. Think about automatically removing every single silent pause from a 2-hour podcast recording, or batch processing hundreds of photos with the exact same adjustments. The goal here is simple: to give you back your most valuable resource, time, so you can focus on the work that actually needs your creative brain. Okay, so we've got our framework. Theory is great, but now let's get practical. What does this actually look like in a real-world creative workflow? So here's the kicker. You are probably already using what the book calls good AI every single day. Things like automatically transcribing an interview. That used to take hours. Using a tool to remove background hum from a dialogue track. Magic. Or instantly selecting a person in a video to apply an effect. All of these are perfect examples of AI augmenting our skills, not replacing them. And this table just brings it all together beautifully. You've got utility AI, which recognizes and organizes, like automatically tagging everyone in your entire video archive. You've got generative AI, which creates new stuff, like whipping up some quick temporary art for a client's mood board. And you have automation AI, which does the repetitive jobs, like cutting all the dead air out of your audio. 3 different functions, all super powerful ways to help you work smarter. Which brings us to the most important part of this whole discussion: The one thing that AI cannot and probably will never replicate. And that's you. When you really break it down, AI is amazing at a few things: speed, remixing massive amounts of existing data, and doing mind-numbing rote tasks. But what do humans do best? Originality, taste, that spark of a truly new idea. And maybe most importantly, the creative process itself, that whole journey of discovery. The author just puts it perfectly with this quote. The journey of actually making something is where the magic happens. It's where you find happy accidents, where one idea sparks another. If you just use AI to skip straight to the final product, you miss out on all that growth, all that learning, and that deep earned sense of accomplishment. So, in the end, the perspective this book offers is just so powerful. It completely reframes the whole debate. The real question for creatives today isn't if you're going to use AI. I mean, the technology is here. The real question is, how are you going to lead the collaboration between your unique human creativity and these incredibly powerful new tools?